Hi, and welcome back to IVF Daddies. I am Richard Westerby, and today we have a wonderful friend of mine, Guy, on. Hello. So, Guy and his husband Milan got married in Ibiza, which is, as you know, is dear to my heart.
We have to talk about real estate later on.
Oh my God, real estate in Ibiza. Let's not. That's all we talk about. So tell me, you got married. When did you get married?
Got married in 2020, but then it was full Corona regulations, so we had our party in 2021 in Ibiza.
Perfect. And that led you on a path of let's become daddies.
Indeed, that was the wish we both had when we did the wedding ceremony. We didn't say it to each other, but we knew that we both wanted to have kids at that time. And then when we came back from holidays in August, we started researching agencies. We found the Same Love Surrogacy, and we just went for it.
The amazing Brad. We love him.
Indeed.
And tell me about the process. How did it work?
The process was that, well, first of all, you have to do a lot of paperwork, but the main issue and the most important issue is to finding the right egg donor. And that took us a while. We were on the waiting list for a surrogate in the meantime, so we were already doing something else on the side. But getting to choose the egg donor was a challenge for us because we found somebody who then apparently had a genetic disorder that she didn't know of before. And then we found had a second match, but also she had a medical problem. And then we paused for a while because we were a bit disappointed.
I was about to say, that's quite emotional, right?
Absolutely. We had this short list of potential candidates, women we really liked. But then in the end, there was nobody left that we felt something for. And then a couple of weeks later, there was a message that there were new donors. We found this nurse. We're both medical doctors, so we also found somebody who's in a caring job. So we talked to her, and she was even nicer in real than on the profile. Well, she also chose us, so we had a match.
Amazing. So when you're talking about the genetics, was this you had a genetic recessive mutation and she had the same one, or she had not done testing and then she found something?
She had not done testing before, and then they found something in the preparation of potential egg donation. And then, well, the agency decided, or the gynecology fertility center decided, well, she's not derived.
Yeah. And I think that's one of the very key things about screening. When you're looking at your egg donors, you need to make sure that they are an appropriate candidate in egg quantity, quality, but also with regards to their genetics to make sure that
that there's a match with the father as well.
But that for her must be quite empowering to know her own genetics as well, that when she has her own family, she's going to need to be careful.
Yeah, that's this additional information because nobody tests their genetics before they start having children. So, I mean, that's additional information you have, and maybe that's information that will be difficult to deal with. But I mean, that's the information you have to get as a intended parent, but also as a donor, if you will follow this trajectory, that this is information that will be open.
Well, it's part of her, like, she can't change it, right? So she needs to know now, understand, take that information, assimilate it, however she's going to assimilate it, and then go, what does this mean for my future?
Yeah, absolutely. But it's more than just genetics. It's really finding somebody through all the profiles that you really like. Somebody who could be part of your family, who would fit in really nicely, that you really like as a couple. And I think that's maybe even more important than the genetic part.
Absolutely. It's almost like narrowing it down to getting into that subset of people that you can then go, who do I really like?
Indeed.
And when you were choosing, how did you feel? Because that itself, to me, it felt like going through a catalog. It felt very impersonal.
It is indeed going through a catalog, but I mean, if you narrow down, you eventually end up with very few candidates. I mean, in our opinion. And one of the main issues for us was that we always want our then future children to be able to contact their donor. I mean, anonymous donation is still possible in the US, but for us, that was something which was really important, that there would be future contact, if possible, if wanted by our children. Yeah. And she agreed to that.
And she agreed. So you know that going forward, you can reach out.
Yeah, and it's not that like we're on a daily basis in each other's lives, but if at one point it becomes necessary for the kids, it's possible.
So fast forward, you now have how many children?
We have 2 kids. So we have a son, he's 2 years and 3 months, and we have a daughter, and she's 8 months now.
So you are in the thick of no sleep.
Oh, it's okay. The last few weeks have been fine, but there have been worse weeks. Yeah.
And obviously, your son was born 2.5 years ago. That led you on another path, another trajectory in your life, which was this.
Yeah, a book.
Tell me about this.
It's called Two Dads, Twee Papas. Unfortunately, it's only in Dutch. We don't have a publisher who's interested in translation so far, but maybe after this podcast, we will find somebody. The story is quite exceptional for Belgium. We're not the first couple, I mean, not the last couple who have children, but still like the whole story, because egg donation, surrogacy, it's often regarded upon very negatively in Belgium, especially by the press, not by the general public, but by the press. And that's why we wanted to tell our own story. Also, when our son was born, because I'm a little bit famous in Belgium, we contacted a journalist who would bring the story so that we could put out the right nuanced information out there from the start, and not that one of the gossip magazines would create their own story. So we just wanted to explain what we did. Well, the publisher contacted us saying, well, this is a very exciting story. You have enough content to make a book, and that's what we did. Of course, it's a very nice present for our kids later on to read what we've been through the last 2 to 3 years. But also, I mean, we get a lot of questions from intended parents here in Belgium who are inspired by the story. Because, I mean, I myself may have been inspired by one of the famous people in the world who did this. Let's not mention Elton John or Ricky Martin. But also here in Belgium, because, I mean, people listen to the story. I mean, most of the Belgian newspapers and other press magazines have covered our story, and most of them have been really positive and supportive. I mean, this is like an eye-opener for a lot of gay couples here in Belgium.
But it's wonderful to be able to have a positive story, to be that role model, to use, again, you're well known, to use your platform for good, and to be able to say, this can be done. This is how we did it. These are the pros and the cons. This is how, as a family, we have created our family.
Yeah, and we are, of course, the lucky ones, because, I mean, both myself and my husband, we are 2 medical doctors. We could afford going to the US to go through this process. But I'm telling the story to inspire also Belgian legislators that, well, I mean, there was nothing really exceptional about our story. I mean, it's just adult people who decide how to create a family altogether. And the fact that there's no legislation in Belgium makes that we didn't do anything illegal, but on the other hand, it's not legal or organized as well. So we have to go abroad. And well, as you know, it costs a lot of money. So it's not for everybody. But I hope by telling our story that some of the legislators will be inspired and will get things organized for Belgium as well.
Do you think that's a possibility, that the law here in Belgium could change to benefit?
Yeah, we have a new government since end of last year, and one of the projects they have is to organize surrogacy in Belgium, and we think just a little bit that our story had something to do with that.
And I wouldn't be surprised, because I think, again, using your platform for change is what anybody in the public eye should be doing, and you're doing it so well. I know that you do a lot of interviews. You were recently on a TV show as well, Dancing with the Stars.
Indeed, yeah, I wasn't very good.
Foxtrot wasn't great.
I was out in episode 4.
But you made it through. Think positively. You did a lot better than I would have done. Doing things like that, and then being very public and open about your family. You and Milan have been very, very inspirational to many people here in Belgium and other countries as well, because your name pops up a lot. So I'm very honored to have you on the show. And thank you very much for being here today.
My pleasure. And good luck with the podcast.
Thank you.